Hey guys, what's going on? One thing that I had recently discovered is NoFap. I first stumbled upon it through some YouTube videos and I thought I'd give it a try. With that being said, I do think that releasing is healthy, but definitely with a balance. You need to, you can't be doing it all the time, and I think that doing it on occasion is healthy for you. I have decided that I'm no longer going to be using porn for that. Really, this is an experiment on its own and seeing where this takes me. And the thing is that I've already been seeing benefits from it. And I will get into that in a moment, but I do want to first explain a little bit about why porn is not a good thing to be watching, because there is a lot of derogatory things happening in some types of pornography and abusive things that happen in it, and it teaches men, especially teenagers, that this is how you have sex with a woman and this is how you treat a woman while you're being sexually active with her. When you're watching stuff like this, your brain becomes desensitized to these type of things, and then you end up, when you're getting that dopamine release from fabbing so much, from watching porn, you begin to become desensitized to, well, this type of porn is not doing it for you anymore, so now you have to bump it up to something else, maybe something that involves being more rough or extreme fetishes and things like that, which you have to continue to keep going up and up and up the ladder in order for you to feel any type of satisfaction. The second thing too is that you're missing that human connection when you're fabbing to porn. It's not the same, and it's always coming from a selfish point of view when you're doing that. I do think that fabbing is normal and natural, but obviously with anything you do in life, there has to be a balance to it. So even though that I'm on day 15 currently of NoFap, I do agree that at some point you're going to have to release. Not just by giving into temptation, but because it's healthy for you to do that, because that is why you produce sperm, is to release it. Now, I had made a commitment that I wanted to save that for being with a woman, which I don't currently have now. So it does make it a little harder. And I think that would be a good transition to go into the benefits that I've seen from NoFap up until day 15, and also the challenges that come with it. And I think we all know what I'm talking about. First, I want to talk about the positive benefits that I've seen from NoFap, and then I'll get into the negative stuff. I wanted to see the results for myself. Is this actually true? Do these changes actually take place? I was watching a few videos on YouTube by both men and women that have tried NoFap, and they've talked about how their life has changed because of it, and that's the other thing I want to get into. Was it's not just doing NoFap. NoFap is like the spine to a body, and in order for NoFap to work, other areas of your life need to work as well. And it's like anything in life. If one area is suffering, they're all suffering. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you're doing it. If you're doing NoFap and you're not working out and you're not eating healthy, it's likely not to do much for you other than cause you grief because you have extreme urges. It's also mind over matter and self-discipline. The more time that you do not give in to those urges, the stronger the urges will get, to the point where sometimes they become so extreme that it's likely that a lot of people will end up relapsing because of that. Most of the time, the urges come at nighttime, usually right before I go to bed or while I'm while I'm going to sleep. It usually happens when I'm not busy. If I'm bored or I have nothing to do and I'm not keeping my mind occupied, that's when the thoughts and the urges start to roll in. When I'm busy, when I'm focused on something, then the urges are not really there. I mean, occasionally you might feel the odd one, but it really doesn't go anywhere. It's like I said, it's all about self-discipline and what you put into this. This isn't obviously going to work for everybody, and you really have to be going 100% on all these other areas, including improving your spiritual health, your mental health, your positive outlook on life. If you are somebody who's intolerant and easily able to give in to addictions and don't have much self-discipline, this is probably going to backfire on you. Let's talk about some of the benefits that I've experienced personally. And first I will say that I looked in the mirror this morning and I've noticed a vast improvement in my complexion. I know that my skin is very fair, but I've noticed that my skin looks better. Like it looks like it's clearing up. I have had marks on it, and I still do. I have some scars on the side of my face from acne. I used to get really bad acne when I was a teenager, and it just looks like my face is clearing up. My skin looks better. A little bit of a gloss to it. It looks a little more healthy or youthful. The way I talk, the way I present myself, and just my presence, my body language has changed. And even if you take a look at this video, and as I'm recording this, I can't really tell if it's gotten better or not. Probably when I start editing this video, I will. My posture has changed. My body language has changed. The way I speak to the camera has changed. And that's just one thing that I've noticed, is my body language, my presence has changed from what it used to be. By day 7, I noticed that my social anxiety was diminishing, and almost to the point where there wasn't much there. Now, I was diagnosed with an anxiety disorder, and I do have social anxiety, and it's something that I've been fighting against most of my life. Well, after high school, I would say, or during high school. And it seems to me that, within 7 days, I've conquered most of it, which I've been in this fight for almost 15 years. And suddenly, my social anxiety is almost diminished entirely. I've made some vast improvements since I've been doing NoFap. Some people say that some people explain the science of it, why it works, the fact that, and I don't exactly sure how it works with women, but I assume it's the same thing, is that women have their own life force inside them, and that energy inside them, the same as men do, except biologically we're different. But having that inside you gives you those benefits by renewing yourself, and not only by increasing testosterone in your body, for me, or for males, but keeping that energy inside you. And the other thing, and speaking of energy, whoa, huge boost in energy levels. Generally, I'm happy to get up in the morning, I'm happy to keep myself busy during the day, and I usually don't have too much of an issue with energy. But I've gotten a huge boost in energy since I've stopped doing this, especially the last couple days. Yesterday I had a very intense workout. I was at the gym for probably 2 to 3 hours just working out. And even after that, which that would have had me sleeping like a baby all night for 10 hours, I had a lot more energy even after I'd done the workout. But overall, I feel better. I feel more aware. I feel more alert. I feel like I have this new energy, this new presence. I don't feel anxious anymore. Certain things that naturally make you feel anxious will happen naturally in its own way, but it's very diminished. And I just feel different. I feel like a different person. One other thing that everybody talks about in these NoFap videos is attracting the opposite sex, attracting women, or for women, attracting men. And it all comes down to those things that I talked about with the increased production of testosterone, and I'm assuming it's estrogen with women because estrogen attracts men and testosterone attracts women. So I'm assuming that in women, it's an increased amount of estrogen within their bodies. Combined with that new energy or sexual energy that you carry with you. And if you've checked out some of my other videos, you'll see that during my life, attracting people into my life has been very difficult, especially with women. I haven't really gone into my personal life with women. But in the future, I will do a video about the challenges that I've faced with having a love life. I do notice now that before, when I went to the gym, nobody noticed me, men or women, and I was almost like a ghost there. Now I'm getting noticed quite frequently by women. Well, I'm at the gym more specifically. So when I go to the gym, now women are checking me out at the gym. I've caught women staring at me at the gym. Men are also noticing me as well. I wouldn't say in an attractive way, but noticing my presence, I guess you could say. I do witness a number of women who see me regularly at the gym, or even women that don't see me regularly checking me out or staring at me. It's a nice feeling. It honestly is a nice feeling to have. People are more friendly to me. People approach me more often than they did before. Women are a lot more friendlier with me. They smile at me now. Before, that never happened. There's just been a lot of changes that I've noticed in terms of my physical presence and people around me noticing me. And I wanted to actually begin doing a social practice where I approach people cold to eliminate approach anxiety. And I feel that because this approach anxiety is actually diminishing, help me even further to continue those goals of doing that. Honestly, all it really takes is to start a conversation with somebody. If it's at the gym, you could be like, I noticed you were doing those exercises or that routine. You're doing that certain technique. I'd like to know more about that. What is your routine? How do you usually use the weights? And that sort of thing. And to develop a conversation like that, and you can do that with anybody. If you're at the gym and you want to find a way to talk to somebody, that is a good way to start a conversation. Most people are friendly when you talk to them. There are people that give off vibes that they're not interested in talking to you. And that's, if they don't want to talk, they don't want to talk, but at least you tried. The more you do it, the more you approach different people, the higher rate of success you're going to have. And then you're going to feel more confident, and it'll become easier and easier as you go. And approaching people will be basically nothing. Now, there are times where I wanted to quit because the urges got very strong. There was one night that I was up all night because the urges were so strong, and I had to fight them off. And the funny thing is that yesterday, the urges really calmed down quite a bit and sort of like returning to normal. But now I've been finding that so the negative things with the urges and with now my sleeping has been affected. Because of this new energy that I have, I've been having difficulty sleeping, and I have heard that since you have this new energy, it's all about your body adjusting to things and creating a new sleep schedule for yourself. One that your body can adapt to for this new energy, and I think that's pretty much what it is. The last few days have been difficult for me. One night I got 3 hours. One night I got 6 hours, and last night was a bit better. I would say probably around 6 hours I got. It was hard for me to get to sleep, and I had to take melatonin to fall asleep. And I went to bed at my normal time, which is about 11, 12. So those are the things that I'm experiencing now. The benefits have definitely outweighed the negatives, and I do find that the urges are beginning to normalize, like to calm down, and they're not getting as aggressive before. This being said, I think that releasing is normal and it is healthy, and I think that if you do it on occasion, then that is healthy for you. So guys, like I said, this is an experiment that I'm doing. I'm seeing where it goes. It has definitely improved my life in a lot of ways. So what are your experiences so far? Have you had any negative experiences other than the urges? And you can talk about those, but is there anything else, like you're not sleeping or you're having other health issues or any other challenges because of it? And what are the positives that you've seen beyond day 15? Are you at a higher stage in your life right now doing NoFap for longer than a month? Post in the comments below. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe. And make sure you check out some more of my videos. Keep it locked on the Andrew K channel.